Hey guys, so I was just sitting here. I kind of done like a whole YouTube binge, and I was just thinking to myself, like the few times that I started and stopped YouTube, and like I'm having those thoughts. I don't have any fear, right? Well, that's not true. Let's not go into that right now. We're not talking about fear. Um, I was just reflecting on like how I could have started YouTube earlier, or like I did start when YouTube. I don't know how old I must have been when YouTube just came out. Like, are we talking like 2005 around that time? Um, I remember making videos, and I'm pretty sure my old account still stands to this day. But I deleted most of the videos that I posted. There must be like one or two on there still, and the name of the account is really representative of like a huge part of myself that I'm willing to see through in the future, which is kind of crazy to me. And it just really like shines a light upon the inner child, the inner teenager in me who always knew what she wanted, even if it wasn't necessarily what was as accessible to her as she had hoped or wanted or like sought it out to be. Um, but that seed was always there. And it's like I'm doing my best today, every day that I have now, to be thankful for what I do have, to be thankful for the journey so far, and to remember that it's never too late. It's never too late to start. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but come with me on this journey. If it's your first day wanting to try something new, just do it. Like, but remember that it's inevitable to fail, okay? Failure is a success story. Failure shouldn't be seen as something to fear, something to hide away from, to avoid. Failure is an inevitable part of the process. It's a part of the process that showcases that you're learning. It's a part of the process that says you are showing up for yourself, and that's love. That's love in action. So kudos to you. Well done to you. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a hug. Seriously, in all seriousness, you deserve it. And I'm doing my best every day to stand in that state of being, to be embodied in my wholeness, to remember I am human. So not to shun the parts of myself, even the ugly parts, the parts that we often shy away from, the parts that we often don't want others to see. But I would like to embrace them. In positive psychology, we call it embracing the dark side, because I really feel that positive and negative are truly concepts that we have created in this life, and I do feel like they serve a purpose perceptually by giving us different perspectives and ways to approach situations. However, and learn and gain wisdom, of course. However, I feel like it's also an illusion. It's also a part of this Maya that we live in when we are living in this world. Because remember, we are living in the world. We are not of the world. We are only of the world when we subscribe to everything that the world has told us that we are. And you don't have to do that. There is no book on this planet that says you need to do that. And any book that does, if there is any book that does tell you to do that, you got to remember that, honey, it's a book, okay? Essentially, it's a freaking story. Words that were created by man, put on paper, that was created by man, and then persuaded the masses by man for what? For what gain? Whoever wrote the story, right? Whoever wanted to manipulate and control. And I feel like if there's anything you want to manipulate and control in this life, the only thing you should be wanting to manipulate and control in this life is you. Honey, you got to look at yourself in the mirror, okay? Like good old Michael Jackson said, and exactly. And so, yeah, I don't really know. I just felt the sudden urge to kind of just do this. And I feel like I'm going to take this moment to say that if you are new here, welcome. Hi, I'm Kari, also known as Sheflowered, and I will be showcasing so much, I believe. I don't even know what I'm going to be sharing on here. I am ready to just be in my complete, authentic truth, whatever that looks like. No matter how scary it's going to be, I might make mistakes. Again, I'm human. Trial and error has been my language for a lifetime. And it's about time to just shine the light that is right here, baby. I'm alive and breathing, and so are you. So why wait till tomorrow when tomorrow is never promised? Every moment is a moment to be savored. Every moment is a sacred moment. Every moment is full of magic should you be open to receiving. And I am open to receiving. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I say all of that to say my intention for saying the last bit was that I'm going to be exploring and experimenting. And so videos that I share are going to come in waves, are going to just come until I find what I'm looking for. And I can't even say that I'm looking for anything specific. I know that there is so much that I'm willing to give, and I'm just going to give it. No questions asked, no overthinking it. I'm just going to give it. Film it, edit, post. Film, sometimes don't edit, post. You feeling me? You feeling the vibes? Okay. Well, yeah, I feel like, is there anything else I want to say? I also, a part of me feeling right now was like, I filmed a YouTube video earlier today, and that big sigh was because I've noticed that when I get down professionally to sit down and film content, it's like this whole thing, and I start rambling so much. Well, it's not even like necessarily rambling per se, but I start just churning out information like word vomit to the extent where I get tired of myself. Like, can we just not be clear and concise, and can we not just keep it to the point? But I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a learning curve for me. When I want to, and it's for particular style of content as well. It's not this style of like vlogging style of content. And maybe that's where I'm going wrong in quotation marks, because I'm not subscribing to anything being wrong per se. We want to be open to the journey, open to the unfolding, because I truly trust that every new experience is a purposeful and meaningful experience should I be open to receiving. And so that's where we're at. That's what we're rolling with. But yeah, I guess we're in that stage of experimentation. We're in that stage of exploring what works for me, what feels right, what feels most aligned. Because I think where I've done a lot of self-reflection, self-development, and healing over the last 5 years, like I've done so much soul and heart work. It's kind of insane when I sit and think about it, and I don't think I've really truly sat and honored all of what I chose to put myself through on purpose, but more about on that later. And I'm at this point where I am taking baby steps to recognizing that it has been like a lot of upward hurdles, and I've been the one in control of it, consciously or unconsciously, the entire time. And I have to take responsibility. I have to be accountable for that. And if I want change, I got to be the change, right? So be the change I seek to see. And yeah, in honoring that truth, I want to welcome Kari back to the stage. I want to welcome me back. Not the broken versions of me that I attached myself to, not the labels that I identified with and became. Like, I am not any of those things. Like, it's sometimes, I feel like at certain stages of our lives, we subscribe to certain labels because they can be really healthy at the time, or they can serve a really great purpose at the time, or can allow us to fit in or find our voices in certain ways. It shapes us, it shapes our identity. But I feel like once attaching to things and once it's serving a purpose and you've learned a lesson, let it go. Allow yourself to let it go. And a good example of this, which I will speak on, is I have been on like a deep dive with mental health as part of my self-reflection and self-development journey over the last 5 years. And I've uncovered up some nasty truths. I've uncovered some ugly parts of myself that I felt maybe even shame and guilt and fear and, like, you know, everything that we carry, that we bury deep down inside. And I was doing a lot of shadow work essentially. And it caused me a lot of mental torment and turmoil. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was an ugly process, but I'm so proud of myself for making it through. And I did that. I did that. Like, I carried myself through. I sourced the tools that I needed to support myself. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Wow, I really wasn't expecting all of this when I decided to start filming. I ain't even gonna hold you on that. So, I'm just receiving right now. This is it. Like, I'm receiving. This is it. Like, this is it. Wow. This is a moment. This is a moment to remember. And I'm gonna look back on this moment and I'm gonna be like, you knew, but you didn't really know. This past year, like over the last 12 months, 2024, I spoke a lot about feeling like I was feeling um this I was tapping into the sense of awareness, this embodied feeling, sensations of I feel like I'm coming of age. I'm coming into this, like, I just feel like I'm coming into womanhood. Like, truly, like, yeah, I've lived through most of my 20s and oh my God, my ears are ringing. Okay. The shivers be shivering. Thank you. I don't know what any of this means, you know? But in the video I was filming earlier today, gosh, I've gone on so many different tangents, and I really hope that this makes some level of sense to whoever's watching and you're able to take something away for yourself, truly. But in the video I was filming earlier today, I touched upon, what did I touch upon? What was I going to say? Low-key, I've spaced out. But yeah, earlier I was talking about how I've noticed getting into this like kind of rut when I start filming content that is a little bit more, I would say, educational on purpose. I think that a lot of the time when I share these days, I already know that I hold a lot of value. I already know that I have a lot to share and I have a lot to offer. I don't always know exactly specifically how I want to offer it, especially in this like format, and hence the experimentation and whatnot. But yeah, when I noticed that when I plan something, like I plan content and I draft some notes and things to remember to share, I sometimes choke in those moments and I'm not quite sure why yet. I feel like I'm still battling with a level of inauthenticity to an extent, even though I'm really pushing for authenticity, and I think there it is. Like, you can't really push for that. Do you know what I mean? You kind of just have to allow it to flow. You have to sort of sit in it, not push for it. So I think that's the message for me today, and for anybody else who needs to hear this. I'm gonna leave it here. So yeah, I hope this is beneficial to anyone. And if not, well, I'm sending you so much love either way, and I hope you've had a wonderful day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Sending love until the next time.